A. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. That shouldn't have been A. That should have been A. Right? It should have been? No, okay. It doesn't matter. But maybe I'll do that right next time. But because I'm staying. You know what? I'm not Henry Winkler, but But I'll keep it. I'll keep it cool, and sorry, again, I'm acting dumb. I get it. I'm acting dumb. But yeah, on to another topic. Just a little small one. This will be a short video of me talking about a TV series, a TV show that I think went for like 7 seasons, and it was aired in 1997. From 1997 to I believe 2008, if I'm doing the math correctly, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is, I love the movie with Christy Swanson, and the movie is a lot of fun, with Christy Swanson and David Arquette's in there. You got Pee-wee in there, who was a vampire, and there's definitely a lot of comedy. It's definitely a black comedy. Well, it's something that was not meant to be taken seriously, you could tell. And the head vampire is kind of funny. The vampire who's chasing Buffy, there's comedy in there. Hilary Swank's in there. So there's a lot of actors and actresses in that movie. Even Sasha Jensen is in there from Dazed and Confused and Halloween 4. He's in there playing basketball. His ears are all pointy. The guy looks like an elf. Buffy's fun. The movie Buffy is fun, but we're going to talk about the show a little bit. Of course, you've got Donald Sutherland in there. God rest his soul. Rest in peace, Donald Sutherland. Of course. Who was in Virus and a lot of other movies. I couldn't leave him out. I couldn't. But yeah, when I watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show, I enjoy it. I do. You got some memorable faces in there. Like, I recognize the guy who has a crush on Buffy, Xander. He's funny. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, was Friends, he'd be Chandler. Because he's kind of the Chandler of the show. And Willow. She was in American Pie with Jason Biggs. And she was sort of a nympho in American Pie, and she surprised Jim. But she's good in the show. She's sort of a... They make her a nerdy girl. She reads her textbooks. She's very smart with computers, and she does a lot of research, a lot of studying. She's that type. But when she dresses up and goes to parties, she's all sexy, She likes Xander. Xander barely notices her. It's like, she spends a good portion of the seasons with trying to get Xander to notice her and he barely even flinches or winces or even winks at the sight of her. It's just like, dude, just, bro, get your eyes on the prize. And we got, of course, who played in the TV show, which is a newer one. He played in not SWAT, but SEAL Team 6, which is a newer series that aired for a while. It's been going on for a while. I think that it finally ended. But it has David Boreanaz, however you pronounce that, who is Angel, our protective, evil vampire hunter type of guy. Like, he's a vampire himself, we find out, but he's very into Buffy. He likes Buffy. He has a crush on Buffy. He is there for Buffy. He's loyal to her. So he's a good guy. And I do like Angel. I do like him. I know there was a show that was made. I did not watch much of it. I'm actually watching it right now, so I can give my review on it and my final thoughts. But I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I do. So I had to get this review out as quick as possible because I wanted to explain my thoughts on it and go into detail on it and give some go into depth, because there's a lot of characters in there and it's a fun watch, and it's a TV show that slid under the radar over the years because, a lot of other things came out, so this got forgotten very easily. We had, Smallville, there was Supernatural, X-Files was big in this time period, Charmed, which is another one I like. I like all those shows I mentioned. And Sarah Michelle Gellar does a good job playing Buffy. And I like that actress too. I think she's a good actress. She was very talented in I Know What You Did Last Summer. She was talented in Scooby-Doo, the movie, live action. A very good actress. There's a lot of talent there. That's not the only one she was in. She was in a lot of movies. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but Buffy that's such a good show. Like, Charisma Carpenter we have in there, who's Cordelia, the sort of stuck-up girl who thinks she's all that and she's all pretty. Yeah, and in which, dude, Cordelia, she's pretty. She is. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. She's pretty. But man, when Willow throws on a black skirt and lets loose, it's like, damn. Because, of course, a redhead. I love redheads. So, for when I watched it when I was younger, it was like, oh yeah, when I was younger. I don't want to get canceled here, so yeah, I'll say when I was younger. But we got James Marsters as Spike. which he also he popped up in an episode of Supernatural, also with Charisma Carpenter. They both were in the same episode of Supernatural together as witches going against each other, but they were also kind of in love with each other, so they did sort of spells on each other, and it's a fun episode. Dude, if you have not watched the TV show Supernatural, I'm a big fan. This is Scooby Natural, one of my favorite episodes. Do watch Supernatural if you have not. It is one of the greatest TV shows to ever air in television history. I promise you, it's a comfort show. You'll have fun with it. There's good actors. Well, there's some bad actors, but it's a fun watch, much like Charmed and Buffy and Smallville and things like that. It's like that. But I have fun with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, because I've watched quite a bit. You know, I've watched quite a bit, and I do like when Eliza Dushku comes in. You know, Eliza Dushku as Faith, the character Faith, sort of hypersexual, getting Buffy into trouble. Sort of her long lost sister of darkness, or her sister of mayhem, and she blows it out of the fucking water. She's a great actress in this movie. I loved her in Wrong Turn. I love her in The New Guy. It definitely seems like maybe like she'd be a bad she's a bad apple, but she also kind of has some heart to her character, where her character loves Buffy and wants to fight evil, but she's very over the top, sort of again, like I said, Supernatural. She's sort of a Dean Winchester who is very stubborn and just wants to fight evil. You know, she does it, and she does it, and she goes hard. She kicks ass. Trying to think of some other people that were in there. You know, I do know that what's this girl's name? From she was in 17 again with Zac Efron. Michelle Trachtenberg as Dawn Summers. So we find out that Buffy has a sister later on, which I am new to because I did not watch the later seasons. I'm a very big fan of the first few seasons, so you know, I like the first season where there's this teacher that Xander has a crush on, and she's an insect. You know, she'll take guys back to her place, and she'll suck the blood out of them, and she'll keep them captive. And Xander likes her, and he goes back with her, and she captures him eventually. And she's sort of a I want to say locust. Would locust be the right word? There is another again, one of my favorite performances actually in this TV series would have to go to, again, I forgot his name, but I do like him quite a bit. It would have to be Rupert Giles. Giles is so interesting. Like, he sort of takes Buffy under his wing, He teaches her all the skills that she needs to know. He himself is smart, and he's not really a fighter. But if you do mess with the ones he loves, he will fight, which that does come into play quite a bit. With there is a certain situation in there. Again, I don't want to give away like heavy spoilers, but he does fight. He does what he can. He does what he can. Yeah, Anthony Head as Rupert Giles. Very good actor. Very good actor. He was in a lot of other stuff too. Because I recognize his face when I see him, so. Yeah, he does good. Seth Green is in there as Oz. Sort of in a band, and Willow likes him. But he doesn't really notice Willow. He's with Willow for a while, but she likes Xander the most. She has a crush on Xander. And she has a crush on Xander. That's the main thing. I think those two end up together. I do. If I'm not mistaken, I think they end up together. And Elijah Dushku, she doesn't have any parents. She's a new fighter of evil, a new slayer that gets Buffy into trouble a little bit, and she lets loose while Buffy is very tightly wound. And while Buffy's worrying about studying and stuff like that and hunting, Faith is very much about going to the club and getting down in the club. And Faith does a good job. Eliza Dushku does a good job at portraying that character. Very believable as a teenage girl who doesn't have a daddy, so she's very sexually frustrated, sexually confused. Things aren't right for her. She's living in a hotel room. It looks like ass. There is a Christmas episode where they invite her to dinner. Again, she's got lights up in the fucking hotel room, so she's celebrates, but she's also sad. Kind of like Danny Glover and Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon, where he wants to invite Riggs to dinner and he hangs out with him and his family. It's like that. Which I love Lethal Weapon. I love it to death. I would love to. How have I not reviewed that yet? I literally have not even reviewed that yet. How is that even possible? I love that film. I love Lethal Weapon to death. I will get into that. I will. I've had so much on my plate lately. I've had a lot of reviews to focus on. I have reviews that were requested that I have to do still, but not even just that. I just had a lot on my mind, and it just sort of got past me. I'm not sure how that was, but it got past me. There's a lot of stuff that I plan on reviewing. I just have not gotten the chance to yet, but I'm working on it. But yeah, Eliza Dushku does a good job. Seth Green, of course, one of the funniest moments I remember Seth Green from is Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed, where Velma has a crush on him. So he's doing a handsome slow motion walk through. He's walking towards Velma in the sort of a dinner party, and he falls on his face. That was funny. My favorite Buffy character, I'm gonna give it to Giles. Is it Giles? I'm gonna say Giles because it feels right. So, um, but yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle, I must say Gallagher. Sarah Michelle Gellar. She's a good actress. You don't hear about her much anymore. Not sure what she's up to, but Ellison Hannigan, I believe that is, yeah, Hannigan as Willow Rose, Buffy's best friend. Good character. She sort of she likes Xander. Xander is definitely the interesting character where he's sort of sarcastic. He's always saying something funny, or he always has something funny to say. He definitely brings a sense of light to the proceedings. Where if there's a vampire fight or something happens, he'll say something funny. It brings some light to the proceedings. Xander is very funny. I love Xander. I do. And funny enough, him and Cordelia, they have sort of a fucking relationship after a while. That was surprising. Because, she's sort of the stuck-up cheerleader type, and he's the funny guy. He's sort of the guy who you feel like doesn't have anything going for him, but he's really funny, so it works out for him. It works out in his favor. Angel. I do like Angel. Again, I haven't watched much of the TV series, but I do like Angel. And I like him in the show. I know it's kind of cringe, him being like over 100 years old and he likes Buffy, but, he's an aged vampire or whatever. Yeah, I flinch at that. Who cares, man? At this time, it was no one thought about things like that at this time. I don't know what you call it. Do you call it un-PC? I don't know what you call it, but I don't give a shit really about that situation. He's a young guy as far as I'm concerned. He's a vampire, which Buffy also becomes a vampire. So if I'm not mistaken, she becomes a vampire in one of the episodes. So I do have fun with Buffy. Again, the sort of insect locust teacher who sort of lures men, or high school boys, if you want to say, back to her place and mates with them so she can create other monsters. That's episode 2, I believe. And there are a lot I like. Sorry. Yeah, that was Teacher's Pet, where Xander, he's taken captive by a insect creature, but also a creature teacher. Interesting creature feature. And there's only 12 episodes in the first season, so it's not very long. I do like the puppet show. Sort of a dummy. You like from Goosebumps. It kind of looks like the dummy from Goosebumps, sort of. Just trying to remember like different episodes that aired. I've watched most of them my entire life. You know, they've aired on the Sci-Fi Channel when Sci-Fi wasn't SYFY bullshit. They were on, I believe they were on CW, which is where Supernatural aired. So they were with that quite a bit. Which, Supernatural, yeah, I mean, that was kind of the vibe, like Buffy, yeah. But yeah, Willa's definitely, she's an interesting character. Where she's sort of she's a shy girl and she becomes tough. Xander, a likable character. Giles, I love Giles. I love the girl he falls in love with. Who's also a teacher. Who is the teacher that he falls in love with? I swear I remember her. Giles' love interest. So the computer programming expert, Jenny Calendar. That's not her though. Is that her? Yeah. Yeah, that's her. Which I believe that Angel goes completely dark at one point. He's sort of possessed and he kills her. He murders her right in the school, I believe. And, Giles finds out about it and he's pissed. So there's some confrontation there. The show does delve deep into the characters and things go down later. They do. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of battling, a lot of bringing back to life the characters who were once dead. Very much like Supernatural. Again, I keep repeating that because it is one of my favorite TV series to ever air. Supernatural, I'm a big fan. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are amazing together, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I do think. Sorry about that. I do think that that Supernatural is one of the greatest shows ever made. Especially ones that aired on the CW. Because CW, it was tame at one point, wasn't it? And there was also... Wasn't it also, like, CBS or something like that they aired it? And... You know, it didn't really get that much recognition because... Again, it was on CBS and CW, so they were very child-friendly channels, and they didn't really do much, so it's kind of weird. Why choose the CW? Why choose CBS? Who gives a shit about those? Let them play Sesame Street. Who gives a fuck about that? I don't know. But I just... I am a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love the movie with Christy Swanson and Donald Sutherland. The TV show with Sarah Michelle Gellar is fun. I watch it quite a bit. I love I think that I maybe love... I love the earlier seasons a little bit more. But I also can't judge much because I never finished the series, so I'll get back to you on that when I finish the series. Eliza Dushku, hot as ever. Of course, she's a minor. Yes, I understand they're high school. Yeah, it's high school. I get that. It's just when I was younger and I was watching them, it was like, oh, they're hot. But, you know, of course, I forget. They're high school, so I can't think like that now. But what else can I say? I know there was one robot creature I liked in an episode where... Yeah, he was sort of a cyborg. It was an earlier episode. It was in season 1. He took Willow. And Willow was talking to a guy on the internet, and Buffy warned her, and she wouldn't listen. And the guy took her, and it was a cyborg. Sort of like bright red eyes. And it's sort of the whole robot deal. And, that was a cool episode. I love that episode. And I did a lot of practical work with the suits and the robot gimmick. But yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a very fun TV series. The movie is very fun. I wanted to go into that topic a little bit and talk about that. But yeah, if you like Buffy, let me know what you think down below. You know, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar does a good job, very serviceable. Let me know what you think.